In Jamaican terminology, we normally say unfair game can't play twice. So let's get into the update about Rebecca Cheptegei. The former boyfriend of Ugandan Olympic athlete Rebecca Cheptegei, who killed her by setting her on fire, has himself died from burns sustained in the attack, a Kenyan hospital official has said. Dixon Nadima ambushed the marathon runner as she returned home from church more than a week ago. He then doused her with petrol and set her ablaze. Local administrators said the two had been in conflict over a small piece of land in the northwest Kenya where Cheptegei lived and trained. Nadima died on Monday night at the intensive care unit where, according to the hospital, he had been admitted with burns on more than 40% of his body. He developed respiratory failure as a result of the severe airway burns and sepsis that led to his eventual death on Monday evening at 1830 hours. Despite life-saving measure, a press release from Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital said Cheptegei died last Thursday, 4 days after she was attacked. She suffered burns to more than 80% of her body. I saw the athlete on fire running towards me after the attack, neighbor tells BBC. Neighbors said that on the day of the attack, they heard screams before Cheptegei came running towards them shouting for help. The local media reported that Nadima had sneaked into Cheptegei's home in western Kenya, Trans Nzoia County, with a 5-liter jerrycan full of petrol. Some of the fuel he poured on Cheptegei splashed onto his own body, according to reports. As a result, Nadima got caught in the fire after he set his former partner alight. Nadima was to face charges as police said that they were treating Cheptegei's death as a murder, with the former boyfriend named as the main suspect. But now that Nadima has died, the criminal case has been dropped and an inquest into the two deaths will be open instead. Both Nadima and Cheptegei were admitted to Moi Hospital before their death. Cheptegei's death shocked people across the world, with fellow Ugandans saying she was an inspiration to them. The 33-year-old Olympian was the third female athlete to be killed in Kenya over the last 3 years. In each case, current or former romantic partners were named as the main suspects by police. In 2021, world record holder Agnes Tirop was stabbed to death, and 6 months later, Damaris Matu was strangled. I do not wish bad things on anyone, but of course I would have loved for him to face the law as an example for others so that these attacks on women can stop. Beatrice Ayakoru, Secretary General of Uganda Olympic Committee, told Reuters news agency. Some observers are saying that female athletes are becoming increasingly vulnerable. This is because they go against traditional gender norms where the woman is just in the kitchen and just cooking and taking care of kids. But now female athletes are becoming more independent, financially independent. John Clemo, who found Tyrop's Angels to help highlight the issue of violence against women. Cheptegei was born on the Kenyan side of the Kenyan-Uganda border, but chose to cross over and represent Uganda to chase her athletic dreams when she did not get a breakthrough in Kenya. When she first got into running, she joined the Ugandan People's Defense Force in 2008 and rose to sergeant rank. Not only was she an athlete representing her people, she was also serving her people as a police officer, rose as far as sergeant. Wow. Her career included competing in this year's Paris Olympics, Although she came 44th in the marathon, people in her home area called her a champion. She also won gold at the World Mountain and Trail Running Championship in Chiang Mai, Thailand in 2022. Chiptegei is said to be buried on Saturday at her ancestral home in Baku, Uganda. Attacks on women have become a major concern in Kenya. In 2022, at least 34% of the women said that they had experienced physical violence, according to a national survey. We do not want this to happen to any other woman, whether an athlete or from the village or a young girl. Rachel Kamau, a spokesman to the Government Department for Gender and Affirmative Action, told BBC. And that's fine that they don't want it to happen to anybody else, whether that be a village girl or athlete or a police woman. But what are the laws are they putting in place to protect women in Kenya? It's like the same thing in Jamaica. We have a lot of women in high places that hold high positions that are literally just sitting ducks or puppets. They just sit in those positions. They don't do anything in those positions. They don't put in any laws. They don't talk about the issues that we have. They are just there to hold up space and say that a woman hold this particular position because it looks good on paper. They get nothing done, and they only come out to speak on issues or talk about said issues when stuff like this happen. And the fact that he also died says a lot. That is karma. Karma worked on him quickly, instantly. A lot of times we think that karma is going to take a lot of time, or we're not going to be able to live and see karma work out in our favor or in our best interest. But Rebecca got her karma. Rebecca got everything that she was owed in this lifetime and the next given to her by his life also be taken with hers. It's literally like in the Bible, an eye for eye. He tried to kill Rebecca Chiptegei, and I was so hopeful that she would make a full recovery, but she died, and now he also died with her. Your personal responsibility and moral accountability that you have to people that you come across with, you interact with, you're in a relationship with, does not change at all. What is for you will be for you, and what's not for you won't be for you, and that will never change. And the world goes around. So for me personally and my belief system, if it does not come around to you, it's gonna come around to somebody else in your family that you love and that you cherish. So you have a personal responsibility and a moral responsibility to just do the best thing, do the right thing, do it the proper way, do it the moral way, do it the way you want for it to be done to you. And in this case, he could have left her alone, and he chose not to. So not only is she dead, he's also dead, and his family are going to mourn him and be sad and angry, and so is Rebecca. But still, Rebecca's family can say they have some solace in the fact that he's no longer here. He can't do it to anyone, and taxpayers are not using their money up to take care of a criminal. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Rest in peace to Rebecca Chiptegei. I hope the Paris Olympics actually recognizes her and name a building after her, because they say that's what they're going to do, and I think that would solidify her name and her legacy. And I would want something like that to show solidarity for women, especially where violence is concerned, especially in a place like Kenya and Uganda, where women seem to go through domestic violence issues a lot. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.